And the recording is starting. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome, everybody. Lupe Gamboa, Chairman Pro Tem. And so let's start with the meeting. I have to leave at 9 o'clock, so let's try to get through as fast as we can. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes for the last meeting, March 23rd meeting? And if so, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Jeff Space,
I move to approve the minutes. This is Han.
I second.
Okay. It's been moved and second. The minutes are approved. Also, we keep getting lots of case closures. So is there any discussion on the case closures?
No discussion from my end.
Same.
Okay. Is there a motion then to accept the cases as closed?
I think it's my turn. I'll move.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and second that the cases have be accepted as closed. Is there an executive director reporting or report from the executive director, Andretta?
Yes, I just have a couple of things to report on, and you saw them as additions to the agenda, but they're primarily announcements. Commissioner Tron is interested in the commission discussing and possibly taking action at some later time on caste discrimination. We recognize that you need to be educated as it relates to the issues, and that it will be forthcoming. We'll get some information from Kristen Lamson, our AGO, our AAG, and also in regards to the executive session, just want to put you on notice that the office would love to host a planning meeting, a strategic planning to determine what the group is going to focus on in the months to come. So that is my report.
Okay, thank you. We're on commissioner reporting now.
Sure.
From the commissioner?
Yes, I can go really quickly. And this is more as an FYI and not any kind of request for endorsement. I am running for North Shore School Board Director this election cycle. And this is just an FYI for the folks here.
Oh, okay, thank you. I have just a very brief report. Last Friday, I attended a session event sponsored by the University of Washington, which was celebrating, I think, the 55th anniversary of the founding of the Black Student Union at the UW. And I found it very interesting because in 1967, 68 is when I started attended the University of Washington, and at that time there was a lot of activism, a lot of national activism, civil rights, the civil rights struggle with the full bloom and stuff, reports of protests against war in Vietnam, and the University of Washington also was very ripe for change. At that time, there were only 53 Black students out of 35,000 students, and I was one of 5 Latino kids at the University of Washington. It was pretty much really white, and anyway, to make a long story short, the BSU got organized and mobilized white students and other students, and eventually force the university to start opening its doors and recruit minority students. And it really opened the doors, especially for the Black students and the Latino students who were totally locked out of the university. And it brought home to me the importance of social activism. You just can't rely on the law, especially when there is no law to rely on. But citizen activism really does bring about change. Okay.
Thank you
And
so much for
that's
sharing,
it.
Commissioner Gamboa. That's really inspiring, and thank you for attending the celebration. As someone who's running for as a public servant, or to be in the seat as a public servant, as it pertains to education, it's really important that we acknowledge the disparities and gaps within our own public education system. And I'm thoroughly interested
Right.
to learn and hear more about how the Black Student Union of the Civil Rights Movement were able to be successful in that sense of bringing people along on this journey.
Yeah, I'd be glad to talk to you about that. And it opened the doors, as I mentioned, not just for the Black students, but for the Latino students. I remember the
Absolutely.
Black Student Union sent a recruiting team to the Yakima Valley, looking for Black students, and they were told by farm workers, well, there's no Black students to speak of in this area, but there's a lot of farm worker kids, and they said, oh, okay, we'll take them instead.
Yeah, it's all intertwined. It's all intertwined, right? Like you said, the protests were out of the Vietnam War, which is what I was born out of. I was born out of war. So it's all intertwined.
Right. Okay, so let's move on to the report from Attorney General.
Good morning, everyone. I do not have anything to report, but I would like to ask if we could take 2 seconds and have Allison do a roll call and confirm quorum for the minutes. Sorry, just want to make sure that that gets done and reflected in the minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Allison.
Good
Sure.
morning. Thanks for that.
Let's do that. I just want to add a little bit on the AG after the roll call. Can we take the roll call now?
Yes, thank you. Chair Gamboa,
Here?
Commissioner Demas, Commissioner Spey, Commissioner, thank you. Commissioner Tran,
Present.
Executive Director Andrita Armstrong,
Here.
Deputy Director Jacqueline Strongmoss,
Jacqueline? Oh, she's muted. Jacqueline, unmute yourself.
Thank you. I am here. Thank you.
Assistant Attorney General Christian Lanson.
Present.
For the record, Allison Riffer, Commission Clerk. Any other callers on the line wishing to introduce themselves may take themselves off mute and do so now.
Hi,
Okay.
everyone. My name's Allie Hardy. I'm the new customer service specialist, and I am present.
Oh, good. Welcome.
Deborah Gonzalez, Administrative Services Manager.
Okay.
Roll call
Okay,
is
thanks
complete.
again. Okay, thanks for the reminder. Just on the AG, I was reading an article last week how the Attorney General's office filed this lawsuit against Ostrom Mushrooms. It's a big mushroom plant who had set up a gigantic mushroom plant in Sunnyside, which is where I grew up, and gotten a lot of public money, to do so. And it was announced that there was going to be a real boom for the area, providing steady employment for farm workers. And but then all of a sudden they started laying off. The majority of the workers were female workers, and then they started laying them off in a disproportionate manner, and they were firing them to make room for guest workers that they were bringing in from Mexico, which were all male, and just violating, which you can't do that under the immigration laws. You cannot fire local workers to bring in people from outside, and they were also violating the laws against discrimination. Firing women, and also the Consumer Protection Act. There was a massive lawsuit. It was about, and they settled with Ostrom. Ostrom's then sold the company to a Canadian private equity firm, but they're the ones that committed the violations. But they sold it for something like $3.1 million, which was incredible. It's just a very great victory, but it's also a reminder of how farm workers are just totally, subjected to abuse much more than other workers. So congratulations to the Attorney General's office.
Thank you. And I will bring an update more specifically on that case next month. Colleen Melody was out of the office this week on vacation, I believe. So, but that case did settle at the middle of this month, and there is a judgment of $3.4 million. But I will bring more information to the next meeting on that settlement.
Great, thank you. So now let's move on to public comment. Any comment? We don't have anybody from the public here, do we? Okay. So then let's move on to the discussion on the ban on case discrimination. Commissioner Tran.
Well, I don't think, I'm sorry, I don't think there's a need, Commissioner Tron, you correct me if I'm not right, that there's no need to discuss it because we've made the announcement that this is forthcoming, that discussion on the caste discrimination. You all will be getting materials and reading about it in the commission meetings to come. And same with the executive session. The executive session really just means that we are going to soon talk with you about scheduling an executive session to deal with strategic planning. And in that planning, there will be discussion on caste discrimination.
Thank you, Executive Director Armstrong. I would like to add to that, this is not coming about from my own fruition. I've had community members reach out to me as this being a concern, just so people know the source that it's coming from, because we're not going to proceed without people who are in that community, right, and affected directly by this. So I'm only bringing this up as a conduit for the community members who have brought this up as a concern. And just a little more information that you will receive most likely is there were efforts back in March and earlier for Seattle to add this to their law, and they were successful at adding it to their law so that there would be the verbiage for caste discrimination would be included as part of the protected class. So this is what we're proposing here for the Human Rights Commission, so we can at least take it up to the state level. There is no caste ban on the verbiage of caste discrimination is not in the national or federal level, but we can at least push it towards a state.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Yep.
Okay, so that
Attorney General, yeah. Kristen,
I just want to pop in on a couple of clarifications. One, on the executive session, I think actually we're going to use the terminology retreat, because the executive session, I think a lot of people understand as a closed session that's not open to the public.
Right.
And a retreat, unless you have a topic in that is qualified to be an executive session, that would be an open public meeting, the retreat part. So strategic planning is not something that's exempt from open public meeting laws. So those discussions would be public. So I just want to make sure that that's clear for anybody listening. And the term executive session has a little bit of a term of art. So people are understanding it as the OPMA executive session, but I think you were meaning it as a retreat for the
Right.
executive team and the commissioners. So I just wanted to make that clarification so we're all on the same page. And then on the caste discrimination, the Seattle City Council did adopt an ordinance that added that. I am going to share a link of the council file. This topic has come up in other forums that are around, and there's some really interesting information in the council file, the supporting documentation. They had a number of people testify. They had documented reports from a special rapporteur from the Human Rights Commission in Geneva. There's a couple of national organizations. So when we send the email out, it's a good place to start to begin learning about the information. And part of the discussion with the Human Rights Commission will be understanding what you can do as a commission and where other people or other entities may need to step in for certain kinds of actions. So I'd be happy to provide that kind of information at a retreat conversation just to understand. And a big role that this commission can play is really helping with the education as a first step. So I will share some of the information. I think, I don't know if any of your sister commissions have done any work on this, but it might be worth reaching out to see whether there's any collaboration with the Asian Pacific American Commission. I don't know, but they might be a good place to start. And I think I'm aware that there is some activity at the state level in California, so that might be another area to look into, seeing what's happening at the state level. They have not passed anything into law, but it sounds like the Senate in California may have passed something just this month, but it hasn't gone through the House in California. So just sharing that. We'll send out an email with the Seattle file, which is a great place to start. And there's a lot of really good context and perspective information in there. And there was some controversy within the community that this would impact. So it's an important discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's a very interesting thing, item to discuss. Okay. Any other discussions? Not,
Before, excuse me, before we adjourn, I just want to say thank you so much to Commissioner Gamboa for your efforts with the Washington State for the UW BSU. I was a benefactor. I came in 1976 through the Office of Minority Affairs at the University of Washington, and I thank you in the highest for paving a way for me. So I would be remiss if I did not share that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was a very, very important event, a very important happening. It opened the doors for a lot of people. I know that it really opened the door for a farm worker community to get educated, and a lot of them became very successful. Okay, if not, end of this, I'll call this meeting to end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
all.